Well, hello. Today is Tuesday, January 17th. It is 31 degrees, and I have a house full of people. There was no school today because the freezing rain, which was supposed to stop at midnight, continued on till like 5 in the morning. So they canceled all the schools, but unfortunately, Christy still had to go to work. So she brought Sophia. I already have David. Cindy's a teacher, but by the time when she left her house, the school was still open. But by the time she got here, they had closed it. So she just decided to stay. So she's here. Only plans I have is I have to go to Kroger's today to get the makings for Mary's birthday dinner and to stay on my program. I'm not going to be outside walking, obviously, because there's ice everywhere. So we'll see what the day brings. House full of people. It's not going to be quiet. Okay, here's my breakfast. Grapefruit tea and water. I'm going to have the ultra thin toast with an egg and a banana. As usual, I started my day with a prayer. I drank 24 ounces of water. I have 40 smart points for the day. My quote is, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And my breakfast is 8 points, 2 for the egg, 3 for the toast, 3 for the jelly, 0 for the grapefruit, and the banana, and the tea and the water. So I have 32 points left for lunch. Okay, time for lunch. Gonna have a salad and some orange and a cup of tea and a glass of water. I could kick myself when I went to Kroger's. I forgot to buy more iced tea. Anyway, for lunch I had 32 points left. I have a salad for 0, 3 ounces of chicken for 4. My dressing 6, an ounce of feta cheese is 3, my tea and my water and my orange are 0, so I have 13 points, so I have 19 points left for dinner. Okay, once again, dinner was very loud, so I just took a picture of it, but I had a salad for 0, had my iced tea and water for 0. I used Italian dressing, which is only 2 tablespoons is 2 points, because it's a light dressing, I think. But I still like my poppy seed. But you know what? I saved 4 points. Now this is where I'm kind of mixed up. I had a half a cup of scalloped potatoes, but when I look up on the app, it says 6 points. But it doesn't tell you for meatloaf. It just says 1 serving is 8 points. So I went on the Weight Watcher app and went into the chat room and talked to one of their people that they have that's been a lifetime member or whatever. And the only guidance they could give me is a serving is whatever you put on your plate. Well, you could put any size you want on your plate. So that wasn't the least bit helpful. When they asked for feedback, I did tell them on the feedback that was what I thought, that I didn't think that I got very good advice, but I haven't heard back from them. So I did have 19 points that I could use. So I think I came pretty close. I probably went over the 19, but I'm not as bad as I would have been if I wasn't keeping track. Okay, when I went to Kroger's today, I know I'm probably a sucker. They probably saw me coming from a mile away. But this man came up to me and he had on like a camouflage jacket. And he was asking me for money to take the bus. And he showed me a bus schedule, and he showed me some kind of a check that he said they wouldn't cash. He showed me his military ID. All of this stuff I know probably was all fake. I know I was probably scammed, but the man was so skinny. I just kind of felt bad for him. And he probably scammed me, I know, but I couldn't in my heart know that if he was truly, truly needy, that I would turn him away. I had enough money to pay for my groceries, and he was telling me he was hungry and wanted to take the bus, and part of me knew, I would say 90% of me thought he was lying, that he was just scamming me for money. But then that other 10% said, what if he really does need this money? And you do have it, so give it to him. Karma's a bitch. It either comes back to give you good things or comes back to give you bad things. So if he was lying, it's going to come back and give him bad things. And I just don't know. And I was really doubting it the whole time until I got in the car with Denise. And she was telling me about some guy approached her at Kohl's with the same sad story and described him to a T to the guy I gave money to. So I told Denise that I still don't feel bad that I gave him the money. I just feel bad that I was probably made a sucker of, but I don't know that for sure. I really don't know that for sure. And he didn't smell of alcohol in the least little bit. And it was like probably 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And he was just so skinny. It's just, I don't know. But, you know, if he scammed me, he scammed me. It's, I don't know. I've had people approach me at a gas station saying they need money for gas because their car was, they didn't have enough money to get to their destination. And so at that point, I always tell them, well, come up to the pump and I'll put it in. I'll put the money in, and oh, no, we just want the money. No, well, then keep on walking because then I know I'm getting scammed. And I've had people at a restaurant, like at Burger King or McDonald's, that'll tell me they're hungry and they want some money for the food. And I'll buy it at the window and give it to them and they'll take it. But if they just say, no, that's okay, then I know I was going to get scammed. I don't know. I'll sleep well tonight knowing that at least he had some money to take a bus somewhere, whether it's to another sucker like me or what. But I guess I don't feel bad. I really don't. But everybody's gone now. It was a long day. And Kylie came over too because she didn't have school, obviously. And the 3 girls, 3 just never get along. They got along for so long, and then you have to separate them. And then they'd be fine, and then you'd have to separate them again. But so I just had Cindy stay for dinner, and she just left. We are all done with David's homework and studying for his exams. They start on Friday. And I'm hoping he goes to school tomorrow. And then tomorrow I have my swim class. So I get to see Birdie. And I guess that's about it. So, I don't know, but I told you about my points on the meatloaf and the scalloped potatoes. I know that I should use the recipe builder, but I'm not really sure how to use it. And I meant to ask at the meeting last week, and I forgot. But the meat was like the 90% lean. And then I had like a green pepper and a red pepper and onions. But I know the killer was the ketchup that you put in it, because I know the ketchup's really bad. But other than that, and then the scalloped potatoes, there was how many of us? 6 of us eating, and I only used 3 potatoes. But the cheese, that's a killer, the cheese. And then I had cream of potato soup as the base for it, and then potatoes and onions. So, I don't know. I'm doing better than I was doing before I was tracking. That's all that matters. So, I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm done babbling.